Many universities in our region are engaged with the Asia Pacific, but what distinguishes Victoria's approach is the sheer density, the critical mass of connections that we have, and it almost amounts to a kind of matrix, the ways in which we engage with the Asia Pacific region. In particular, we try and take advantage of our capital city location to engage with the New Zealand government, but also to engage with regional universities and to participate in collaborative activities with regional governments. Now, that range of connections is far too extensive to cover in detail, but I might just give a couple of examples. Victoria University of Wellington has a very strong focus on China. We recognise how important China is to New Zealand today, and also how the rise of China has transformed not just our region, but the whole world. In order to try and understand this, and to help New Zealanders grasp the importance of what is happening in China, we have created something called the New Zealand Contemporary China Research Centre. This has become a hub for studies in New Zealand of the rise to power of China. We also have a Confucius Institute. In both cases, we have a large number of partner universities in New Zealand and in China that we work with. Through the work of the Confucius Institute and of our Contemporary China Centre, we are having a real impact on how young New Zealanders in particular understand the impact of China on the world. We have a number of other initiatives that link us to China. As well as having many partner universities in China, we're the only New Zealand university to have a joint degree with Peking University, Beida, usually considered the #1 university in China. We have a double master's degree with Peking University. And we have also been fortunate enough to attract private funding so that we have $500,000 in scholarship funding to enable young New Zealanders to study at Peking University and at Victoria and be very, very well prepared for the kind of world they're going to have to operate in the 21st century. One country in the world that Victoria has a very special relationship with is Vietnam. Indeed, of all universities in the world, Victoria probably has one of the most multifaceted relationships with Vietnam of any of those universities. We're the only New Zealand university to have a campus in Ho Chi Minh City in partnership with a local university. But we also engage in a large number of activities with other Vietnamese universities and with the Vietnamese government. For over 20 years, Vietnamese officials have been coming to Victoria for English language training. We have an agreement with the Ministry of Education and Training in Vietnam to co-sponsor degree-seeking students from PhD level down to undergraduate level. We also work very closely with other government agencies in Vietnam so that, for example, we have recently embarked on a very exciting initiative with government funding from both Vietnam and New Zealand to train Vietnamese diplomats both here in Wellington and in Hanoi, where they will be studying for our Masters of International Relations degree. Too often, New Zealand universities have only focused on Asia as a source of fee-paying students. At Victoria, we think it's much more important to engage with the region in a broader way and contribute to capacity building. For that reason, a decade ago, Victoria began a consortium that focuses on the Greater Mekong sub-region. The consortium is called the Greater Mekong Sub-Region Tertiary Education Consortium. Quite a mouthful by any standard. But what the consortium does is it brings together Victoria University and Australian National University in Canberra with 12 universities from the GMS region, from Thailand, from Cambodia, from Laos, from Vietnam, and from Yunnan province in China. And working together on a partnership basis with these universities, we're contributing to the development of education, higher education capacity in that all-important region. One of the most exciting developments that we are launching through our GEMS network is a summer field course. This summer field course will take students along the Mekong River. It will enable them to find out some of the challenges that the countries of the Greater Mekong sub-region are facing. They'll receive briefings from all our partner universities, and the students will be coming from different parts of the world, so they will have the opportunity to mix with students from countries like Vietnam, Thailand and Laos in their own countries, to hear them talk about how their lives are being transformed by development in one of the most important parts of emerging Asia. One of the most important parts of the Asia-Pacific region for this country, for New Zealand, is the South Pacific. The South Pacific is part of the fabric of New Zealand life today. More than 5% of our population are from what are called Pacifica peoples. They come from the various Pacific islands. Victoria has a very strong commitment to engaging with the South Pacific. Indeed, we're the first university in New Zealand to appoint an Assistant Vice-Chancellor, Pacifica. The first incumbent is someone called Winnie Laban, who is a former Minister of Pacific Island Affairs, and she brings a wealth of knowledge to this position. As a university, and through her leadership in this role, we are committed to engaging with Pacific peoples, both here in New Zealand and in their own region. And it's a wonderful example of how one can connect both locally and internationally.